Our topic today, I'm talking about why people have antisocial behavior. So unaweza juaje uko na antisocial behavior? You're that kind of a person when you go to a place and everybody's interacting, everybody's busy interacting, uko hapo umevaa earphones. That's antisocial behavior number one. You're always walking around with earphones. That's antisocial behavior. You're always the type of person mwenye hata mtu akikuongelesha, it's like you have nothing to say, okay? And I'm talking naongelelea ile point yenye you're in a social space, probably watu wana interact, maybe ni church ama it's an event happening, people are just interacting, it's an open place, si ati ni mko pahali indoors ati pahali mko enclosed, so people can see your interaction. But when somebody talks to you, it's like, you don't even have something to say, so wao tu ndio wana have to kuongea the whole time. For you don't even have something to say. That's antisocial behavior. Why? Because kama ni social behavior means you are ready to interact, positively interact, okay? So the reason why number one unakuwa na antisocial behavior, number one, the reason could be that probably it was a person who was a victim of bullying for a long time. So ni mse alikuwa na bulliwa, probably when alienda shule, when they were growing up, people used to bully them a lot. So because of kukua bullied, it kind of pushes you to a corner, to the point where you don't trust people because unaona umse ataanza kunibully, so it's almost like for you feel like anytime you talk to somebody ama anytime you make the effort to talk to somebody, they will always kind of find a way to bully you. So sometimes you find because of growing up na hiyo bulliness, you hated people. Do you know by the kuna watu wanachukia watu, and the truth is you cannot survive, you are not an island, huwezi survive peke yako, you need people around you. So there are people who grew up because of bullying, it changed their way of thinking towards people, wanaanza kuangalia watu in a very different way. Kwanza wakiona the loud people, that's why you'll find there are people wenye wanasemanga hapendi watu loud. Why? Because maybe it reminds them of some people. Maybe namkumbusha kuna mse fulani alikuwa kwa life yake mwenye alikuwa na act in a certain way. The other thing also that can make somebody have antisocial behavior, inaweza kuwa venye ali grow up. Maybe growing up there were those kind of people wenye walikuwa na secludiwa na wazazi wao hawakuwa nataka wapatane na watu, like you wouldn't even bring friends home, you wouldn't even bring people home. So because of that isolation by your parents, walikuwa na isolate sana, ina create that antisocial behavior. Because you see, kama hauja grow up kusalimianga watu ama kuongeanga na watu, you wouldn't even know where to start. So because you didn't go through that almost social experience growing up, because either ulikuwa unafungiwa sana, you are too restricted, it creates an antisocial behavior. And sometimes inakuanga the opposite. Tunapata wale wase walikuwa nakaziwa sana, wale wase walikuwa nafungiwa sana are the most outgoing people wako huku nje, wako outgoing, sherehe zote anataka kuenda. Why? Because alilelewa ama alizaliwa akifungiwa sana, like ali grow up akifungiwa sana. So that also could be a thing. The other thing also could be that probably experiences, unapata sasa experience ya probably ushaenda kuongelesha mtu ukashatiwa down, ama you are the kind of person who kitambo wewe ulikuwa mtu wa watu, and then maybe something happened, ukarealize kumbe watu hata wakuagi na wewe. There are those moments in life where you realize kumbe hii life unakoga solo, especially ile time umego through something rough, tuseme maybe you've ended up in hospital ama end up in a way hadi imebidi mmefanya mchango. Unajua hapo ndio unajuanga kama uko na mabeshte ama hauna mabeshte, because as much as hawata kuchangia, are they there for you? So you find there are some people wenye because of that experience of going through experiences where wase waliwa abandon at their most crucial time, wanakanga hivi wanasema mimi sinanga stories za watu. And there are people who are like that. The other thing also could be there are people who've decided I want to take a break from people. Ushaisikia watu wenye wanaongeanga hivi wanasema mimi sasa I just want a break from people, sitaki kuongelesha watu, sitaki kuinteract na watu. And there are people like that, okay? So hauwezi jua, sometimes it can be different things, you may not know, but unaweza pata maybe ni kitu go through like recently and then akafeel manze watu pia wamemchokesha, alright? And especially kama they were former people pleasers. Unaona mtu mwenye ni people pleaser, they grow up thinking ati unafaa kufanya vitu ndo please wase. So once they realize by the way kumbe nobody cares about that, kumbe you don't have to do anything for people to like you. They either like you or they don't. They are either your friends or they are not your friends. So once mseme come out of that cocoon, they realize kumbe naweza ishi maisha solo. And there are people by the way you find hata saa hii wasi wanaweza itana event ama kunaweza kuwa na event, na utapata kuna mtu atakuja solo, atakuja peke yake, and they will not interact with anyone, they will not talk to anyone, hata kuwa na kazi ya mtu. Okay, why? It's antisocial behavior. So to you who you are doing that, unaweza feel ni kama you're not harming anyone, you're not, we hausumbui mtu, hakuna mtu una disrupt maisha yake. But it's bad because what happens next, and this is my other point, unaanza kuwa loner. Okay, so you start becoming a loner. So if you are a loner, you will definitely have antisocial behavior juu hautaki kuinteract na wase. Okay, so it comes from the point of you making a decision of mimi sitakuwa na interact na wase. So even when people talk to you, you don't, it's like you don't take so much effort kuongelesha. You never talk I mean you never, ukae ni kama unataka conversation, so you blow people off, unajaribu ku end conversation as fast as possible. That's because you are a loner. So loner unapata ni mtu mwenye hatokangi nje, they are very much indoors. Kama ni mtu anaenda either shule ama a social place where they have to go, let's say kitu kama shule, kampo, kole, you find this is the kind of person mwenye anamalizanga studies zake kasha rudi home, anamaliza studies zake kasha toka. Kama ni job anamalizanga hivi kasha toka. You never interact with anyone basically. That means you are a loner. Okay, and that's antisocial behavior, and you should really work on it. Also, there's a category of people wenye wanakuanga antisocial because somebody betrayed them. Maybe they put their trust in people. Venye nilikuwa nasema story ya people pleasers. Maybe you put your trust in people sana hadi ukajisahau to the point where they were able to take advantage of you. So if you've gone through those experiences, inaweza kupush to be antisocial. But please, usikubali kukuwa antisocial. Why? Because we live in a life where you have to network. Lazima uongee na watu, lazima communicate na watu. So if you do not do those things, unapata utaumia. Because you see siku hizi hata opportunities, whether good or bad, unapata opportunities zina come through people. Msee anakuambia by the way ile job fulani wanatafuta wase. So you see, if you are antisocial, you might not find that community where you can share that information. So it's important for you to understand that ni poa sana, by the way, sometimes interact na wase, learn to interact. The other thing also ni and heal from that betrayal. Ni huo mseni alikubetray, not everyone else. That person betrayed you. Even if it happened 10 people betrayed you, 20 people betrayed you, trust me, mimi I've ever been in a situation where somebody betrayed me and nakam kurealize baadaye that was that person. Unaona, haikuwa ati kila mtu anakuanga hivyo. By the way, si kila mtu anakuanga hivyo. You will once you start talking to people, once you start being social, uta realize there are so many personalities you don't know. There are so many people and their experiences you've never had. So whatever you think you know about people, trust me, you know nothing, because kwanza bado hata hujapatana na wase already. Okay, so once you start meeting people, unaanza you start falling in love with the differences. Okay, unaanza kuona aya, kumbe umse anakuanga hivi, umse anakuanga hivi, na umse hakuna pali wanapatananga, but they relate together. They it's like they are able to cohabit with each other, but they are not the same personality. So that's the beauty of life, kuweza kupatana na wase wengi. Okay, so that's important. Kitu kingine also ni so probably sometimes you find somebody just has a wrong attitude. Maybe from kitambo they waliishi kuambiwa ama yeye mwenyewe, they have that wrong attitude or wrong personality where mimi si communicating na watu, mimi siongeleshangi watu. So you see, that's the thing. Unapata maybe msee anafanya hivyo out of pride. Unapata maybe msee anafanya hivyo out of kufeel ni kama they are self sufficient, where hakuna kitu nakuja kuongezea kwa maisha yake. So you see, that's a wrong, actually that's a wrong way to look at it, but you find that there are people when you wako hivyo, for them they have the wrong attitude, wrong personality. Kitu kingine inaweza kuwa the reason why people are antisocial, unapatanga sometimes is, you see, mtu akona personality disorder. So you find somebody probably akona mental issues, akona anxiety, akona depression. So you find there are people wenye wakigo in a space where there are so many people, they start to be, wanaanza to feel anxious. You get? So people like that, you expect them to be a bit antisocial. Juu sasa na yeye haji kureact kwa wase. Maybe for you feel like maybe there's a way you look at yourself and you think maybe people think I'm weird. Maybe kuna mtu mmoja alikuja akakwambia unakuwaga weird, alafu mse mwingine akakwambia, alafu mse mwingine akakwambia, and then you took that thing and you decided kumbe mimi basi nakuanga weird, and that's not true. Okay, ni kama saa hii unapata like people have been calling me ati wanasema, so I've had this comment like wasi wananiambia ati unakaa Diddy, unakaa P Diddy, you know, and every time I have to say no Diddy, okay, but you know, like unaweza shinda ukiambiwa kitu na watu and then you might start to deceive yourself also, uanze kujiambia ama basi kenye wanasema ni ukweli. So people might, you know, unaweza kuwa umego through in the past, people telling you you're a bad person, wewe hata huwezi interact, hata hakuna mtu anaweza taka kuwa beshte yako, and maybe you took that in, okay, so you just have to release it. You just have to know that interact na wase. By the more you interact with somebody, don't realize people don't even care. People don't even care. You see this spotlight effect people always have on themselves. Nadhani ati watu wanakuangalia, people mind what you are doing. People don't. Imagine unapitanga hapo 1 minute, huo msee hata ashasahau ulikuwa umevaa nini, ulikuwa unakaa aje, kama wewe ni mweupe ama wewe ni mweusi. So people don't care, okay? And I think na hii ndio point yangu ya mwisho. I think the last reason why people are antisocial is because maybe they have an insecurity. Maybe ana feel, you know, I don't have this, I don't qualify for this, ama you know, maybe they don't like their body, maybe kuna kitu wanachukia about their body, there's something they don't appreciate, or there's something they hate about their body, which is a strong word. Hate is a strong word, but unapata kuna mtu mwenye atakuwa antisocial just because of that. Maybe yeye anajiambianga, maybe niko na macho kubwa, maybe niko na nini, so because of the things that you've told yourself. Juu insecurity ni wewe unakwanga umejibuildia, una get. Inaweza kuwa ni watu wamekuja wakakwambia oh unakanga hivi, unakanga hivi, unakainga hivi, but it becomes an insecurity when you take it upon yourself. Unaanza ku create your image in your mind, so you start seeing yourself as that person. Unaanza kujiona with those zinaitangwa nini, flaws. Unaanza kujiona na flaws more than unajiona na zile attributes zako zenye zinakufanya ukwe that person that is unique and stands out, okay? So it's important for you to look at your view. I think hii nikimalizia nitasema it's important for you to look at your view. Ebu rudi nyuma ujiulize, why don't you love to interact with people? Mbona unakuanga the type of person where you are like, mi watu walinishinda, ama every time uko hapo kwa earphones? Go back. So maybe kuna kitu hauja heal from. Learn from that, from whatever happened, learn from it. Unaona, maybe it was something that was meant to grow you, it was something that was meant kukupe hiyo stamina ya kujua kumbe by the way wasiona kuanga hivyo, na si wote, ni some of them. So once you know this personality, like me right now, I'll tell you, mi kuna personality, the minute I spot it in someone, huyo mtu hakuna pahali tunaenda, especially for ladies. The minute I spot them either akona daddy issues, huyo msee hakuna pahali tunaenda, because I know the I have been there before. I know that kind of a person. Ni kama najua, I know how that story goes. So sometimes you just have to be that person. Yes, self-conscious that people are weird, people are different, people can be crazy or can be the worst kind of human beings in their own way. But you just have to know that ni poa kuinteract na wase. It's good to interact with people. But yeah, niandikie kwa comment section, tell me, why do you think people are antisocial? Na weka uko antisocial, why do you think you're still antisocial even after listening to this video?
Gachin Lion!